Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Easy Tiki Drinks. I'm Andy, and today on the channel we're going to be taking a look at probably the most infamous tiki cocktail ever. We're going to be taking a look at the Navy Grog. Wait a second, haven't I already done a Navy Grog? I did, but today we're going to be taking a look at Trader Vic's Navy Grog. So, let's do this. So a little while back, I decided to do a video where I crossed the Mai Tai with the Navy Grog. Navy Grog is one of my favorite cocktails. It was on a Memorial Day. It seemed really fitting. But however, during that video, I realized that I've only ever done Don's Navy Grog. Well, Andy, isn't there only one Navy Grog? If this were a normal cocktail, sure. There would only be one version of it. However, classically, there are two versions of the Navy Grog. One done by Don the Beachcomber and one done by Trader Vic's. So today, we're going to be taking a look at Trader Vic's Navy Grog. Now, before I continue and go over the ingredients for this, I do want to preface this by saying I'm going to use a different category system for my rum today. And that's because this recipe comes straight out of Smuggler's Cove by Martin Cate. He uses a different rum rating system than Matt Pietrek from Minimalist Tiki, which I typically use on this channel. So when you hear me refer to certain numbers of rums, this is purely from Smuggler's Cove and nowhere else. I'll try to be as descriptive and give you as much information into each category as possible, but I don't want this video to be half an hour long, so I'll cut it relatively short once we get there. So let's see what we're gonna need to make Trader Vic's Navy Grog. First, we're gonna need a number 1 or a lightly aged pot still rum. We're gonna need a number 4 an aged column still rum. A number 2, a lightly aged blended rum. We're gonna need Allspice Dram, Demerara Syrup, Grapefruit Juice, and lime juice. The lightly aged Overproof pot still rum that I'm using is Smith & Cross. The column still aged rum that I'm using is Bacardi 8. The lightly aged blended rum is Plantation 3 Star. The Allspice Dram is St. Elizabeth. The Demerara Syrup is homemade, and the Grapefruit Juice and lime juice are fresh squeezed. I'm gonna rearrange this, and then we'll get to talking more about it. So as I mentioned, this is Vic's Navy Grog, not Don's. And this is also not Vic's Grog, which is a completely separate cocktail. This is Vic's version of the Navy Grog, and it may be the most infamous cocktail in Tiki history. And if you stick around till after I build this thing, I'm gonna tell you why. So, without further ado, let's simply build this. Now, you're gonna notice some similarities between this and Don's Navy Grog, mainly the citrus and the amount of rums that I'm using. However, you're gonna notice that the sweetener in the middle is different, and you're also gonna notice that the rums are different as well. So, let's do this. Let's build it, let's sip on it, let's talk about it some more. First, we're gonna need 3/4 of an ounce of our lime juice. We're gonna need 3/4 of an ounce of our grapefruit juice. Now, if you notice, those are the same measurements with the same citrus in Don's Navy Grog. Next up, we're gonna need 1/4 ounce of our Demerara Syrup. We need 1/4 ounce of our Allspice Dram. Now, I am using St. Elizabeth because that's what I can get. Hamilton also makes a pimento dram that you could use, or you could use homemade as well. We need 1 ounce of our lightly aged blended rum. Now, this is called a number 2 or a lightly aged blended rum in Smuggler's Cove. Now, blended rum does not mean that it is a multi-island blend, however the Plantation 3 Star that I'm using is. What blended rum means is that it is a blend of distillates. So the way Martin Cate recognizes and categorizes his rums are by distillation process. So when he says blended, that means that the rum is a blend of both pot still and column still rums. So this is a lightly aged blended rum. Other versions of this would be Eldorado 3-year, Dorley's 3-year, Denizen White. Those are all blended, lightly aged rums, typically like less than 3 to 5 years. Full ounce of our number 2 rum. Next up, we're gonna need a number 4 rum. So a number 4 rum is an aged column still rum. So as I mentioned, distillate process matters. This is a column stilled rum. There is no pot still rum in this at all, and it has been aged. So we're going with the Bacardi 8. There are a bunch of others in this category, but I always find that the Bacardi 8 or a Don Q Anejo are gonna be your best bets. Full ounce of our aged column still rum. And last but not least, we are going to need a lightly aged pot still rum, specifically Overproof. So we're gonna go with Smith & Cross for this. It's probably your classic version. So again, distillate matters. This is a pure pot still rum, and it is lightly aged. The age statement on this is non-existent. However, studies tell us that typically the blend is made of no more than 3 to 5 year old rum. So others in this category would be like a Rum Fire or a Rum Bar. Smith & Cross is probably gonna be your best bet, and it's probably my go-to for any reason, so we're gonna go with it. We're gonna need a full ounce of our lightly aged pot still rum that is specifically Overproof. All right, I'm gonna grab our big shaking tin, add some ice to it. Dump in our cocktail, give it a nice little whack, and then whip shake for about 5 to 8 seconds. All right, I'm gonna grab my double rocks glass. Now, the rocks glass that I chose was chosen very specifically, and this is the Search for Tiki mugshot rocks glass. I'll explain a little bit later on why I chose this specific glass, but either way, if you've never seen this glass or never heard of Search for Tiki, I'll leave all of Gabe's stuff down in the description below. Definitely check him out because he is a Tiki fanatic, and I highly recommend you follow him. So anyway, we're gonna crack this bad boy open, and then open pour into our double rocks glass. Top with more fresh crushed ice. I don't know why I just grabbed that. I apologize. We're just gonna do the ice. I'm gonna grab our Surfside Sip straw here, place that in, and then we're gonna go for a garnish. We're gonna go for a mint sprig. Make sure to whack it, make it up, put it right there next to your straw, and we're gonna go with a lime wheel. And there you have it, Vic's Navy Grog. Let's give it a try. First off, let's talk about some of the differences between Vic's Navy Grog and Don's Navy Grog. First off is how it's served. Don's Navy Grog is served over an ice cone. This is served over crushed ice. This is much less fancy in the sense that there is no show and spectacle in its serving method. We also see the difference between Don's Navy Grog using honey syrup and this using Allspice Dram and Demerara Syrup. And then we see a difference in the blend of rums. So why is this the most infamous tiki cocktail ever? Well, rumor has it that Richard Nixon would sneak out of the White House, go down to the Trader Vic's in DC, have the entire bar cleared out, and then sit at the bar drinking Navy Grogs, as a Navyman himself, and spilling the secrets to Watergate to the bartender on staff. Now, nobody knows whether this is true or not. No bartenders have ever come out and said, hey, you know, Richard Nixon spilled all of Watergate to me. It's all rumors, but either way, it adds to the story. It's also rumored that Phil Spector consumed 2 Navy Grogs at Vic's in Hollywood before going on to assassinate Lana Clarkson, the actress. Another reason why this is so infamous, and the reason why I chose the mugshot glass. I felt that between Richard Nixon and Phil Spector, it was very fitting. So there is a third reason though, and honestly it's probably the most important reason, because without this cocktail right here, I probably would not be standing here doing what I'm doing now. It was Vic's Navy Grog that Jeff the Beach Bum Berry consumed that sparked his interest in reviving Tiki. He had one at Trader Vic's and then decided, I want to recreate this. And this is what started his archaeological dig and exploration into the world of Tiki, and this is why we have recipes that we do today that would have forever been lost to the ages. And in fact, this recipe in and of itself is still kind of lost. This recipe comes from Martin Cate, and it is simply the best Martin Cate can surmise of the Trader Vic's Navy Grog. And the reason being is that the Trader Vic's Navy Grog uses something known as grog concentrate. And this shows up in Trader Vic's actual recipe guides. Now you can buy this from Trader Vic's worldwide once in a while. They don't always have it on their site, and when they do, it goes really, really fast. Basically, the best that we can figure out is that it is an allspice syrup. So allspice berries, demerara sugar, or just regular sugar, maybe a couple cinnamon sticks. And that's the best we can pull from there. So instead of going out and making your own allspice syrup, what Martin Cate did is said, well, if we do a 1-to-1, right, equal parts Allspice Dram and Demerara Syrup, it's pretty damn close. And so that's where this recipe comes from. That's the history of Trader Vic's Navy Grog and why it's probably the most infamous cocktail in Tiki history. And I can't believe it's taken me this long to do it. So there you have it, Trader Vic's Navy Grog. A little bit different than Don's and definitely more infamous. But either way, I really hope you enjoyed this channel. And if you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click that little notification bell so you know when I drop new videos. By the way, would you guys like to see like a Navy Grog off? There are a couple different versions of this and a couple different riffs that have developed over time. And I don't know, if you guys want to see it, if you want to see me do kind of like Don's Navy Grog, Vic's Navy Grog, and like 1 or 2 others side by side, testing them on camera, let's do it. Comment below, let me know, do you want to see that? Either way, thanks so much for watching. Go over onto Instagram and TikTok, follow me there at EasyTikiDrinks, and until next time, take it easy.